Welcome to A Celtic State of Mind. I'm Paul John Dykes, and to my right is Jim Simonetti, and we're delighted to be joined today by Ern and Des McIlroy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Des, you are Ern's father.
I am, yes.
And you are a lifelong Celtic supporter.
Yes, thanks.
Looking forward to tonight?
Yes, sir. Especially when you don't know what you're up against with Dundee United. You know, we don't really know. But then again, they don't know us.
No, you're right. I mean,
they've never played against us, so...
They're a bit of an unknown quantity.
Aye.
Having been out the league for, what was it, 4 seasons?
4 seasons, aye.
But they're a Premier League team, Des. If you ask me about Dundee United, I always remember them as being contenders in the top league, doing well in the cups, so it's good to have them back, actually.
They were always a team that you wanted to watch. Mm-hmm. You know, it was one of the games you look forward to.
Absolutely,
Well, maybe not the last 5-6 years, obviously, but before that, when I was younger, it was always Dundee United, you know. Matter of fact, we were talking earlier on about the 67.
That's right, in the way through, Des, we were, yes.
They were the only team to beat us.
That's right, aye.
Beat us, and I was at, even though I was young, I was at the 2 games.
Is that right?
Aye. I was at the 2 of them. And I think it was 3-2, was the same score.
Uh-huh. At the moment you've caught me, I can't remember what the score was, but I wouldn't argue, but I'm sure it was. I remember the 2 games. And it's funny you should say that, because my father used to always tell me, and he used this word, Dundee United's were bogey team. So maybe that stems back for there, Paul, you know.
Team. Bertie Hall told us a story that in one of the Dundee United games he collided with a post. I don't know if you remember this, Des. He collided with a post and Neil Mockin ran onto the pitch to treat him. And he'd just been given, for the first time, they were smelling salts, but they were in like wee capsules. And he poured it up his nose rather than got him to smell it, you know. That got him up off the deck anyway. But I got him moving, aye. But that was the techniques and methods of Neil Mockin.
Jeez.
You remember the great Neely then?
I do, aye. Well, see, at that time, they weren't really personalities. The guys were in the background. You know, even although they were there, they were not people you sought out to go and talk about or find out about. They were just there. That was it. It was more the players. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, it's a cast of 1,000, isn't it?
But they had some personalities though back in that dressing room.
Oh, aye.
Desi, you know, if you the characters within that period of time, it must have been an abundance with the different stories for them all.
I remember talking earlier on about Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Jinky, God rest him. I remember the day he got sent off against Aberdeen. Now, the big fullback, front of the jungle, as plain as you could see it, Jimmy's trying to get by him, and the guy just grabbed him by the arm and tried to pull him back. And me, Jimmy turned round as if to say, "Leave me alone, will you?" And his wee polite accent.
He's very polite, wasn't he?
And then right away the referee's over and sent Jimmy off.
Is that right?
It was a big fullback. The guy left Aberdeen meant to be a police or something. Maybe that had something to do with his idea of stopping Jimmy.
Aye.
And Big Steen was getting off his head. So was wee Jimmy. That wasn't the one that he ran right up the tunnel, you know.
Oh no, that was another one. Aye.
On his way to Glasgow across to get home.
Aye.
Great memories. Ern, when did you get introduced to Celtic Football Club?
When I was in the womb.
That's a good answer, actually.
When I was a fetus, I was born with it. So yeah, just ever since I can remember, it's just been Celtic. We just love Celtic. Family of Celtic, and that's it.
Aye, well, actually, it was quite interesting when I heard your father speaking, coming through, that there's a wee with your mum, a wee connection there with the great and the one and only Tommy Burns. Can you tell us that story?
Aye, my mother was a midwife in Rotten Row, the old Rotten Row.
Aye.
For years and years, and my mother actually delivered Tommy's, I'm sure it was Angela.
Aye.
And there was a connection there with Tommy and Tommy's wife. They were all very friendly, and I don't know how many times my mother was asked into part. Tommy was always phoning up, getting him to come in. So I remember the first time she went in, there was a game on, they went to the game, there was 3 of them, 3 midwives, they all went in. And I always remember my mammy come back, she says, See, after all these years, I finally get it with Celtic now. You know, she could never understand before it what Celtic were, why we used to always go daft about them. And once she come back after Tommy did giving her the tour and Big Hoy Doink was there and all that, you know. And she says, I finally get Celtic now, she says. That's not bad, it's take you 40 years more, you know.
But that was the magic of Tommy Burns,
that was it. I spoke to him once outside the park one day. We were standing for tickets, as usual. When Fergus came in, before Fergus revolutioned it all, you know, stand in the pouring rain waiting for a ticket to go to see a football match. And you think about it, you know, to go and stand in the rain to watch it again.
I know.
And I always remember Fergus was up at the window and Tommy got out the car and he just walked over to everybody. How we doing, lads? Sorry about this. So down to earth, you know what I mean? You see certain other players, if they seen you waiting for that autograph, you know the ones that were going to disappear and the ones that would stay, you know.
Yeah.
Aye.
See, during your Celtic supporting life, the changes that you've seen, Des, the changes, and even in the personnel, like you say, they've gone from people you could maybe relate to back in the 60s and the 70s, but they're so far beyond that now, aren't they? They're superstars almost.
Oh, aye. It's sad in a way. There's no... Well, maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't seem to be a connection between the supporters and the players. Mm-hmm. Then again, when we had big supporters clubs, you always had supporters dances. They always sent players out. You had to send them home in a taxi at the end of the night half the time, you know. But they always came. But nowadays, it's just a modern life now. People just don't want to mix with people that's giving them the living, you know.
Aye, maybe it was a wee bit different back in the day, as you're saying, Des, when yourself, Neil Galbraith, Eddie Hendry and many others were all part of the Glenboy Celtic Supporters Club.
That's right.
And that's over 50 years.
Oh, aye.
So what about Glenboy Celtic Supporters Club? You want to tell us a wee bit about them?
They've got one now. I'm more affiliated with the Coke Bridge now, with the Race of St Columba.
Right.
When I'm fit to go, which unfortunately is not brilliant now, you know.
Yeah.
But they've got the bus going. But the only thing is, the club was leaving for the pub, and the pub's closed now. The pub's never opened after COVID, so I couldn't really tell you. But I mean, we ran buses every week, and it's sometimes you ran them at a loss if you were going away from home, you know. But it was always a good club to have, and we always had players. We were lucky enough. We were a club that the players seemed to come to. Mm-hmm. You know, if we had a dance, they always came to the dance. They stayed there for a couple of hours and went away again, you know.
Aye. Now, again, you were talking that one of your fondest memories was in 1970. Will you tell me the amount of buses for the fountain all the way back? What was that wee story?
Well, Phil Cole's at Coke Bridge at the time was a famous pub, was away down Langloan. We come from Glenboig, obviously. But the easiest way to get to the game that night was to buy the ticket off of Phil, and you got your bus for 50 pence or something. And I think the ticket was only $1.50. I'd love to check it and see how much for a European Cup semi-final it'd be interesting.
Aye.
But from the fountain in Coke Bridge right down to Langloan, I always remember looking back, and all it was double-decker buses. The Celtic supporters from one town. And I'm not exaggerating. People that's maybe listening from the town would maybe phone up or tell you whatever it is. There must be at least 30 double-decker buses. God. Left Coke Bridge that night. And I always remember, usual, you get your carry out, right? It's the only game I've ever went to. We brought the carry out back outside the park. We couldn't bend down. You couldn't bend down to get a drink. The people were, it was just like a hen coop. Mm-hmm. You could not move. You couldn't move. You'd have took a chance when they scored right enough, you know, but you'd end up in your arse.
Sorry. And for that night as well, or during that era, who was your favourite player?
Oh, I got to be Bobby Murdoch. Regent, God rest him high. I say with Bobby, but I just like the way Bobby was. This sounds crazy. You would never know he was on the park sometimes. The way he was that good. He was just a ghost. He was just ghost into games, you know. And say, where is he now? Next minute, well, scored that night.
Aye.
Aye. I wouldn't say I had a favourite player as such. They were just all class to watch. Class to watch.
That's nice to hear that they were all class.
Aye, they were class to watch, you know what
Brilliant.
I mean? You're privileged.
Aye, you were.
Privileged to watch them.
It was a great game, wasn't it?
Aye. The noise that night, we were in the Celtic end. And even although it wasn't, I tell you, I would love to have been in it if it was covered and that noise had nowhere to go.
Oh.
To come off the roof and bounce back off you, you know. Never forget the noise that night. It's unbelievable.
Got a message coming through from Facebook for you. Hail, hail. And it's coming from Eddie Cantwell. Do you know Eddie Cantwell?
Edward, yes.
Yep.
So hail, hail from Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie. Cheers,
Cheers,
pal.
Eddie.
He's watching live.
Oh no.
Eddie's been a good friend to mine through my illness. He's done me a lot of favours.
Eddie's been amazing.
Very good, Edward.
Paul will come on, Erin, as well, and we'll talk a wee bit about your dad's illness and the reasons that you have started your charity page as well.
No problem.
So once we get round to that, we'll explore the different avenues with there and how you can go about getting funds in and kind donations, not just to help your dad, but to help others as well.
100%.
And that's what the Celtic people are all good at, helping each other.
Yeah.
They're very good when it comes to it. And when I heard your story, there's from a family member and also from Eddie, I felt it with Paul, quite fitting that you come along and you speak to us and tell us a wee bit about yourself, because it doesn't matter if you're a Celtic player, a Celtic director, Celtic official, Celtic a famous supporter. You're a Celtic supporter, and that's all that matters.
Exactly.
There's nae them and us. We're Celtic.
Yeah.
We, the fans, are Celtic. You're a Celtic. Your family's Celtic. Your mother and your father were Celtic. Your great-grandparents were Celtic. Your family that's still to come will be Celtic. And that's the passion that we have got for our club and the love that we have got for our club. And it's men such as yourself who have taught us as youngsters what Celtic means. And that what you told me there and told Paul and told the world out there, when your mother went to Celtic, she understood a wee bit more. This is what Celtic was about through the great Tommy Burns. These stories have got to be told.
Aye.
We can never stop. We must tell our stories. We must tell them to generations to come what it meant to be a Celtic supporter, what it meant to be a Roman Catholic in the 60s and the 50s and before it, and what it meant to live in various different areas of Glasgow. What it meant so as it doesn't happen again to anybody.
Yeah.
We're a club open to everybody, as is Jimmy Johnston's Academy Charitable Trust, open to everybody.
That's a fair point. That's one of the most important points, Jim, is to get that across. Everybody. Anybody can support Celtic.
No matter your religion.
Yeah, no matter what.
Correct.
And more than welcome. I think that's how we've had so many successes with foreign players over the last few years. I think they get the club.
Yeah, you look at the impression, you're right.
And they see the people that support them and they say, that'll do me.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm not jumping the gun here, but I think that's what Big French Eddie gets. From what I hear, he's a quiet guy, he's quite happy where he is. He's not going to get messed about, and he likes the people.
He stayed in Scotland during the lockdown, didn't he? He didn't go home to France.
I heard that the other day.
But you're right, I mean, Celtic touches these players as well. Henrik Larsson is synonymous with Celtic. He still talks about Celtic. Lubomir Moravcik played with a host of clubs, but he's most associated with his time at Celtic. And these guys keep coming back. So we definitely do have that impression on the big overseas players as well. So we do. I mean, it's a great leveller. Celtic Football Club's a great leveller. Wherever you are, be it on holiday or at a wedding, family wedding, where you're standing bored and you didn't know anybody, you're looking for somebody to talk to about Celtic, aren't you?
Aye, that's right.
You try and engage with somebody and figure them out within a few seconds.
Yep.
The story I always tell, going back to what Jim said, it doesn't matter who you are. I was at Celtic Park one day as a guest of a friend, and he told me just at half time to go in and make myself a cup of tea and talk away to people. So I went in and I never knew anybody, so I thought, who do I talk to? And at the bar, Jim, I've told you this,
Yes.
was Lord William Hawkey and the late great Billy McNeill. This was a few years ago. I thought, I'll just go and talk to them, right? And I went up and see within a few seconds, it was just three guys talking about football.
Aye.
And I didn't, it was the greatest leveller in the world. It really is.
And if you talk to Willie Hawkey about Celtic, it doesn't finish. He just keeps talking about them. He just keeps talking about them. And Billy McNeill as well. By the way, so well done for you for talking to them and actually getting away.
I know.
Know what I mean?
And the thing as well, Jim, I thought to myself, I'll talk to him about the Quality Street Gang. And Willie had said he had either read it or he knew about it. And I'm thinking to myself, people say that to be polite. If you've written a book, everybody says they've read it. And you realise pretty quickly most folk haven't, right?
No, but he's got your book.
But then he started talking about the intimate details of guys like Tony McBride, and I thought he definitely knows the story.
Aye.
His knowledge was brilliant, Jim.
Passionate.
Oh, it was brilliant.
His knowledge about Celtic's absolutely fantastic. And his knowledge about Rangers as well is great. But Celtic, he's actually got a great knowledge and a great supporter, and he is the main man as well that Lisbon Lions went to and he helped it all through the years. So well done for talking to the two guys. Brilliant, Paul.
I know it was a bit bold, to be honest, but
why not?
Why not?
Another wee guy that impressed me when he left, he's probably all heard it, when they asked Gordon Strachan, how does it feel to be leaving after 3 years? It's just
four.
It's just under 4. He says, I'll be honest with you, he says, which I thought was brilliant when I heard it. He says, I never came here as a Celtic supporter. He says, but I'll tell you something, I'm leaving as a Celtic supporter.
Brilliant.
For a wee guy like Strachan, let's be honest, he wasn't one of the most welcome players at Parkhead when he was with Aberdeen,
No, he wasn't.
He got a lot of stick to wee man, but fair
because
play
he was
to him.
good. He was good.
Fair play to him. He's honest.
Aye.
He was. I'll go through some of the messages coming through. There's a lot of positivity coming through via Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. So if you are watching it, welcome to A Celtic State of Mind. It's always a pleasure to hear your thoughts. Obviously, we've got a game coming up later on tonight. We'll be live all the way through that. So tell me your thoughts about that as well. Ken Walsh, good afternoon. Ken's a long-time fan of A Celtic State of Mind. Don't know if you know Ken Walsh, but he travels over from Ireland for the games. Good man. Hammy, 1984. This is an interesting point, actually, because he says it's interesting that Celtic fans of that era claim Bobby Murdoch to be their favourite player. A lot of people say that.
Aye.
A lot of folks say that.
Quiet man, Yeah. As I say, he was always there. He was like a ghost.
He was. Can I tell you a wee story, Paul?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting with Jimmy Johnson this day, and he was looking at the window, and I says, Jimmy, who's the best player you've ever played with? Bobby. There was no hesitation.
Straight away.
Bobby.
Aye.
And I'm going, Bobby. He says, Bobby Murdoch. Didn't even look at me, just looked straight ahead.
Aye.
And I says, really? He says, aye. I said, who's the best player you've ever played against? Bobby. He says, Bobby Murdoch in training. The greatest Celtic player ever.
Aye.
Jimmy Johnson's words.
Just shows you.
Jimmy Johnson's words.
Aye.
So there you go.
I'm going to have to look back at some of these games then. So,
But Bobby was looked upon by them all as a fantastic, great player.
Aye.
Even Graham Souness. I've actually got a lot of admiration for Graham Souness. Disappointed he went to Rangers because I thought he was a wonderful player and I'd have loved to have seen him in a Celtic team. He had such great love for Bobby Murdoch and he had such great admiration and love for Jimmy Johnson as well.
Aye.
But he loved Bobby Murdoch. He thought Bobby Murdoch was something special.
Aye.
Now, Barry McGlinchey. You know Barry?
Oh, jeez, I know Barry.
Barry's contacting us from YouTube. He says, good listening to Desi Boy. Where is my worktops, Simo?
Aye, absolutely.
It's an outstanding job there that you're not telling us about.
He's actually looking for a laptop, but he's not getting it now. You know.
We are up.
Desi's got it.
I've got it, Barry.
He's saying that they're up at the St Columba Club watching you and Erin. God bless you, Desi. So that's a nice message coming in.
That's it.
Lovely messages coming in. And obviously we've got a game to talk about later on, but let's talk a wee bit more, Erin, about the campaign that you've embarked on.
Yeah, so basically my dad was diagnosed with melanoma. Some people might know it as skin cancer. About 4 years ago, and he's beat it 4 times, and it's decided to come back and haunt us again. So this is just really a campaign for my dad, and it's also a campaign for others as well, for other people, just an awareness of the damage that the sun can do, especially the damage that the sunbeds can do, and basically just really trying to save people's lives and try and get it through to them that it's not just skin cancer.
Just a couple of minutes during the summer, factor 50. See the difference it makes?
Please.
That comes for the people that know more than us.
Just make sure you just cover up, because if you've got any moles, you've got any marks, you've got anything that you're suspicious of, just call the doctor. It could save your life.
And get in early.
Yeah, get in early. Just don't leave it. Just don't do what others have done and just ignore it. Please get it checked. No matter what it is, a lump, a mark, anything.
You know, I always think back, I know it was a different type of cancer, but John Hartson, and he ignored it. He ignored it, and he admits that now. He ignored it for months, didn't he?
Right,
and it travelled through his system.
Yep. A lot of men do, and you really need to kind of, just go and get it checked.
Big John was very lucky.
Very lucky.
Just in time, he decided to.
And my dad's lucky as well in a way, because the treatment that he's received from the Beatson have been amazing. His professor has been amazing. They really have, but it's just everything's kind of exhausted just now. So this is what we're trying to do.
Erin, you and I were speaking just before we came on to the Bulletin here about this growing industry of sunbeds, and we mentioned it's not just the girls, it's the girls and the blokes. Sometimes the blokes are worse than the girls these days. Honestly, if I could just bang their heads together and just stay away from them. That one time, and I know many people who's only been on it a couple of times, they've lost an ear, they've lost part of their nose, they've lost a limb, they've died, and it is down to the sunbeds. No matter what they say, it is. Please think about it. Aye, see the campaign that you've set up. Could you tell us a wee bit more about that? Because the last time, just before we came on air there, we had a look at it, and you've raised just over £5,700.
Oh, I could absolutely agree. Honestly, we're just overwhelmed. My dad didn't really know about it at the start, so he was a little bit shy about it. But he'll come to terms with it that people actually do care and people do want to help, because we have in this world got really, really good people, Dad, that want to help you. So basically, if we can raise enough funds. The NHS has exhaustive treatments. If we can get him something privately, if we can get him an alternative kind of medicine, then this is going to help. We're not ready to give up on him yet. Absolutely not.
Admire the Beatson, to be honest.
Yeah, we really admire the Beatson. Yeah, absolutely.
Just reiterate that again about Professor Evans and my oncologist nurse is always there for me, Rosie. Mad Rosie. I don't know if you'll be listening.
Rosie was amazing, but we have exhausted NHS treatments.
Right, so you're looking to raise £12,000, Erin?
At the moment.
And hopefully that will open up some more avenues.
Oh, please God, yeah.
What we would hope to do, Jim and I, is we've been running a Celtic State of Mind for over 3 years. We've kind of upped the production over the last month or so. And just this morning we were having a look at the figures, so we're up to 250,000 of an audience over the period of a month, which is massive. Excellent. It's absolutely huge. So
amazing.
If we could ever assist anybody in any way by maybe telling your story or raising awareness so that the people who tune in It's pre-match, so there's a lot of people tuning in to talk about Dundee United, etc.
Yeah.
But just that this is the message. We're going to have the links on our page. Where can we find you on social media as well, Erin?
So you can find me on the GoFundMe page, and you'll find me on Facebook as well. It's all public. Twitter, Erin Rose Mac. I'm there.
And we're hoping to push that up as soon as possible to the 12,000 figure.
Yeah.
And I think we've been talking about how Celtic embrace everybody, Des, and there's some lovely messages coming through. One for Facebook here, one big family. I think that is the Celtic way. And we would maybe appeal to Celtic fans who aren't aware of your battle, or maybe don't know you, Des, and we can raise some awareness so people can get on the page and donate whatever they can donate to try and up that total, and we'll continue to keep everybody updated with it. So it's a pleasure to have both of you on today.
Thank you so much.
Paul,
John,
Paul,
whatever.
John.
Alternates, goes back and forth.
Was that not a group?
He's part of a group. But what was good when you were talking to us earlier off mic, Des, as well, that the doctor and the nursing staff asked you what your 4 most important things were. You want to tell us how you answered that?
When I went in December, I went into the Queen Elizabeth, the new one, and they had me in the bone marrow place, but obviously I wasn't getting bone marrow, but that was the safest place to do it, for infections wise and what have you. So they've got a board and they ask you, what is your main thing in life, what is it, and so, well, they said three or four, I can't remember. One was family.
Yep.
Second one was faith. And the last one was Celtic.
Both of them are Celtic, Dad.
The bottom one was Celtic as well. I'll just put Celtic down for that one as well, And the amount of people that come in didn't even look at it, never looked at the board, they're just going, oh, you're the Celtic man then,
That's brilliant.
So maybe it's something to do with the Celtic shorts I had on or something like that.
Maybe, and did you love the Lisbon Lions?
I did, they were more or less my era. I watched them right through. Then after that, when we went through a rather sticky spell, I think we could all say, before we got to the boys out at the door ready to lock the door on us. But I went everywhere. We went everywhere that was the Glen Blake Supporters Club. Remember seeing us during the first 9 in a row, going to Methil, place of all places, Methil, winning the league.
Was that the number 6?
It was right about the middle somewhere.
Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong.
If somebody can let us know.
It was 6 or 8, right?
And was it during the week?
I'm amazed that you remember that. How do you know about that?
I wasn't even born.
You weren't born.
I wasn't born. I know plenty about Methil.
When you go to places like that, in Dunfermline, and
well, they never won a league at Celtic Park during that time. They never clinched the league.
No.
Every time it was away. Yep.
That's the magic of the SFA at the time,
Exactly.
Still working magic,
Right. See, since you love the Lisbon Lions, I was left a couple of gifts by the late great Jimmy Johnson. So one was his Lisbon Lion tie that he wore all the time. So that's yours.
Oh, here we go.
That's for you.
Oh, Jesus, Jim. Jeez.
And that's Jimmy's Lisbon Lions tie.
God bless him.
Beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
So that's for you. You can show up and you can show the people there. That's Jimmy Johnson's personal Lisbon Lion tie.
Jesus, Jim, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me, man? Jeez. I
Lovely
got to tell
gesture.
you the times that I watched that wee man and shout at him, man. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy.
Well, there you go. He left that to me, so I'm giving it to you. That's a gift
That's amazing.
from Paul and I.
Thank you
for
very much,
Celtic
lads.
State
You've
of
been
Mind.
absolutely
Fantastic. God bless you, honestly.
Just keep getting the voice out there. This melanoma, it's a thing to be very, very wary of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just everybody just take care. Just watch what they're doing.
Yeah.
Cover up. Couple of minutes, even when you go into Spain, or couple of minutes.
You believe you're correct. You believe in your faith.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
You keep believing.
Yeah.
And your family keep believing.
That'll never leave. That'll
St.
never
Pellegrin is a very, very important saint.
Aye.
He's very important.
Yeah.
And he's a patron saint of cancer sufferers who's done very many miracles over the centuries now. And I'm quite sure that all the Celtic supporters and all the other people throughout the world who are listening to your story today, their hearts go with you. They don't need to be Celtic supporters. They can be from every walk of life, and maybe people who have had family that's suffered this terrible illness that you're suffering. And I remember sitting with Jimmy Johnson, and people were talking to him saying that, you know, there's no cure for motor neuron disease. And the wee man jumps up with his voice dead loud and says, they just haven't found it yet.
Aye.
That's true.
And that's great hope, you know.
Aye.
And you keep your spirits up.
Yep.
You keep praying. You keep hoping.
It's things like this what we've done here today, Jim. Get a message across to everybody.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
It's just not always about him, it's about everybody.
Other people.
Everybody.
Of course
Other
it is.
people. Yeah.
It's about everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody that suffers.
Everybody.
And Paul has rightfully said this Celtic state of mind here belongs to the Celtic fans. It belongs to the Celtic fans throughout the world to put their views across, to put up comments. But it's for people like yourself to be given a platform to come on and to speak about whatever you want to speak about. You know, it's very, very important. Yeah. It's like Jimmy Johnson's charitable trust and the academy and the place that we've got. That belongs to every Celtic fan throughout the world. We're just custodians of that as well. Everybody's welcome to come and visit. Everybody's welcome to come on to a Celtic state of mind, because, you know, it's a good state of mind to have.
That's fantastic.
Best
You're doing a
state of
great
mind.
job.
Can I ask him a wee question, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely, Jim.
The first 9 in a row. The first 9 in a row, and now the second 9 in a row. What's been the best for you, Des?
Oh, now, there's a thing. Yeah, it's got to be the first one.
Got to be the first one. Got to be the first one.
I just going back. I remember the first one against St Johnstone. Well, the second one. We had half a stadium, and I thought, this is. Look, I don't know. You've got me there now, because see when I think of the players we had for the first one, nobody could touch us. Nobody, you know what I mean? Nobody was. They heard Bertie Auld say it a few times. He says, we knew getting out there, we were going to beat them anyway. We Bertie went, you know. I never thought of that.
But what you're going to hear, I believe we're going to do 10 in a row. I genuinely believe, and we're not taking anything for granted, Paul. We're not taking anything that we've not got to keep working hard. How are you going to feel when we do 10 in a row? Because you've seen two 9s, right? So for your era, how are you going to feel when you see 10 in a row?
I elate it, by the way. Absolutely elate it. After, because let's be honest, is it going to be plain sailing for now to the end of the season? Nobody knows what's going to happen. You know, they done their best last year to try to upset us a wee bit, and certain things went on with the people that run football in this country. That's the only thing I'm worried about, and that's not a usual conspiracy theorist.
No, don't
I'm
worry.
old enough. I'm old enough and ugly enough to know exactly what goes on. You know. But then again, we'll win it. We'll still win it.
Absolutely. And the reason I'm asking,
we've got better players.
Of course.
We've got better ground. Everything's better than every other, not just the other team.
Just be positive. We're going to win it, and that's
We've
it.
got
End
better
of.
ground.
That's it.
We run our club better.
right?
We've got money. We've got money that people can see, you know. And I'll be a wee bit cheeky here. We don't sell players that we've bought and haven't paid for yet. And then we've got the cheek to sell them on again.
I know what you mean.
I'm actually seeing that you've got a bit of a fan club out there. All the guys are all watching you that know you. And, you know, I only met you for the first time this morning, and I think you're a lovely man, and I think your daughter Erin, a wonderful, wonderful young woman, and what she's doing for yourself and others.
Oh, she's been fantastic. She's been absolutely brilliant. The two of them,
Brilliant.
mother and her sister.
And her sister.
Especially
Mother and her
me.
sister, Kellyanne.
More me.
More you.
Now, what I would say, just in kind of closing, and in summary as well, is Erin and Des, it's been a real pleasure to meet you today and allow you to tell your story on our platform, and we'll always assist you and anybody else who has a story to tell, such as this. You're raising cash, you're raising some funds, because it's a horrible disease, and you're fighting hard to try and overcome that, Des, which
Yes.
is testament to you and your family. When we checked it before, Erin, we were sitting at 5,700, just over, and we're looking to raise 12,000. So we'll share all the links, but they can also have a look at you on social media.
Of course, yeah.
And it's obviously under your name. Is it Erin?
Erin Rose Mack.
Erin Rose Mack. So please give all you can to help a fellow Celtic supporter and a right decent gentleman. You can see that from a lot of the comments coming through, Des, that you've got a lot of love out there for you. So
Thank you, lads.
we're privileged to be joined by you two today. And Jim and I would
Privileged to
love
be here.
to thank you for joining us.
Thanks
on
for
the
saying
Celtic
Thank you
Segment.
so much.
Thanks to Big
Thank you.
Baz.
Barry McGlinchey.
Thank you, Barry.
Big McGlinchey.
Yes.
Big McGlinchey.
Big McGlinchey.
And we'll
Thank
see you
you.
again, all right?